the chapter of A Gift of Chappals. Now, A Gift of Chappal, written by Vasantha Surya, is a very beautiful story, a short story that deals with the emotions portrayed by children, the innocence, the simplicity that a child has in him. Now, this chapter, Gift of Chappal, has been taken from a book of Vasantha Surya, Mridu in Madras. What are the other works that she is known for? Ballad of Buddhi is another book that she is very well known for. But this particular chapter, this particular short story has been taken from the book Mridu in Madras. Now, in this chapter, children, we have three main characters. We have a character with the name of Ravi, Meena and Mridu. Correct. So, it's basically, let's start with the chapter. What happens is that Mridu comes to meet Meena and Ravi. So Mridu is coming to Meena and Ravi, who are siblings. Correct. So Meena and Ravi are siblings. They are brothers and sisters. Correct. And Mridu is a friend who has come to visit Ravi and Meena. Now the moment Mridu enters inside the door, for some reason Ravi and Meena are very excited. And they don't even let Mridu remove her slippers with peace. They were just dragging her inside the house. But while Mridu was removing her slippers, her chappals, she noticed that there was some greyish, very old chappal, a pair of chappal that had been worn for quite long, and now they have completely lost their color. To which it's clearly written in the chapter, those were grey actually with dust. Now it is important, children. When Mridu comes inside the house and when she is removing her chappals at the gate, she notices another pair of chappals. Now when she notices these chappals, she sees that these chappals are grey and they are grey with dust, which clearly tells us one thing, that these chappals are very old. Correct? Next, you could see the clear marks of every toe on the front part of each slipper. Now in the front part of the slipper, you could actually see the toe marks, which clearly tells us that they had been worn for quite long. They have been completely used and they have been well used basically. The marks of for the two big toes were long and scrawny. Scrawny means thin, suggesting that maybe the person is a little skinny and therefore he has skinny toes. Next, so the kids were very excited. Ravi and Meenu, they were very excited. So the moment Mridu came in, Ravi and Meenu, they dragged Mridu to the backyard. अच्छा वो backyard में लेकर के गए. What did they see in the backyard? In the backyard there was a small kitten there. Now this kitten was lying in a football. You know, you take a football, you get all the air out of it and then you make a seat sort of a thing out of it. So what these children did was, they got a football, they squeezed it, they got all the air out of it and they made a small cushion type of a thing for the kitten to lay there comfortably. So in the backyard, around the bushes, there was a kitten in a football sort of a cushion. Correct? And she was drinking, and the kitten was drinking milk from a coconut shell. So what is the story so far? Story so far is that we have three characters here, three friends we are talking about. One with the name of Ravi and Meena. And then these two are siblings. And Mridu is a friend to these two. Now Mridu comes to meet Ravi and Meena once in a while they must be meeting. So Mridu came to meet them. When Mridu was removing her slippers in front of the door, she noticed another pair of slippers there. Now these chappals were quite old and they had been completely used, thoroughly used. Now after having done this, they took her to the backyard. Now Mridu, Ravi and Meena, the three of them are in the backyard. In the backyard, they are looking at a small kitten for whom they have made a cushion out of a football. Correct? And the kitten is drinking milk from a coconut shell. Now, it's very clear that because these kids were so excited to get this other child to the backyard and the kitten is not even having a proper place to sit, a proper place to sleep, it was quite clear that maybe the kitten is kept here with secrecy, that nobody in the house actually knows that there's a kitten here. And that was exactly the case. घर में किसी को नहीं पता था कि backyard में they have kept a kitten. Correct? So now they've also got a coconut, they've also got milk in that coconut shell for the kitten to feed. So now Ravi over here is telling to Mridu that how difficult it was for him to arrange that milk for the kitten. So let us see what he says. He says, do you know how hard it is to just to get a little milk from the kitchen? Pati. Pati is grandmother. Pati is the Tamil word for grandmother. So he says that grandmother saw me with a glass in my hand just now. I told her I was very hungry. I told her I'm very hungry. I want to drink. But the way she looked at me, I had to drink most of it to throw her off the scent. Throw her off the scent in the sense कि उनको जो शक हो गया था, the suspicion that the grandmother had towards Ravi, he wanted to get rid of that suspicion. Correct? So what she said, he said कि I went to the kitchen to fetch some milk for this cat. By the way, this cat has been given quite a good name. We'll come across the name later in the chapter. So he says that when I got inside the kitchen to get some milk for the cat, Pati, yani grandmother, she almost saw me, and she became very suspicious of me having milk abruptly in the middle of the day. So Pati ne पूछा that why are you having a glass of milk in your hand? To which Ravi said that I was feeling very hungry and therefore मुझे दूध पीना था. But now Pati was very suspicious. Why is he doing that? Is he going to waste it? Is he going to give it to someone? God knows for what. But Pati was suspicious over here. And so he started drinking some of the milk to make her feel कि नहीं, he legitimately is hungry and therefore he's got the milk. Now after this entire episode was done, he consumed a little bit of milk to make sure that Pati is she's in the sphere of the trust and not suspicion anymore. So after this is done, what happens is Pati is there and she's like, glass de do mujhe, I'll wash it. He said, no, I'll wash it. So that's what kids do. Even if on normal days Pati would have asked him to wash utensils or something, he'd be like, no, I'm not going to do it. But today it was all different. He went to the kitchen himself, he got the milk for himself, and then he's also ready to wash the tumbler in which he has drank the milk. Correct. So what he did was, he said, no, I don't want you to put through any trouble, so I'll wash the tumbler. I told her I had to run and pour the milk into the coconut shell, run back, wash the tumbler and put it back before she got really suspicious. So he was running here and there. So the moment Pati left, he quickly went to the backyard, he poured the milk into the coconut shell, he came back, he washed the tumbler so that Pati doesn't get to know about this. Now, once Amma had told that Pati should not come to know about this kitten, because if Pati does, she will leave the house. Because usually elders feel कि तुम तो चलो उठा करके ले आए kitten को, who's going to take care of the kitten? Correct. She must be, she'll go here and there, and how are we going to handle? It's a big responsibility to handle a pet, something that children often don't understand, but the elders do. And therefore, Pati was not really happy with the idea of kitten coming to home. And kids knew that, and therefore they were hiding the kitten from Pati. Now, we have to think of some other way to feed Mahindra. Correct? So, this Mahindra is a name that you usually give to a person. It's not a pet kind of a name, but these children have given this kitten the name of a man, of a person, and therefore it's very clear to us that these children, they do take him as a very humble, important soul, and how important we'll know right now. So therefore we see a sense of attachment of these children to the kitten. Correct? So the kitten has been named Mahindra. Now they are very, very happy about Mahindra, and it's like they've given a fancy name to Mahindra, a very fancy name. They call it Mahindra Varma Pallava Punai, or MP Punai in short if you want. And they think that it's a very fine breed of cat. If you ask them, the fur that the cat has, it literally look like a lion's mane. It literally looks like a lion's mane. That's how royal they think the cat that they found is. See, that is what it is with the children. They get so excited of the most simplest thing, that is a proof of their innocence. Such simple things are also so much enough to get them excited so much. Okay children, so the story so far is that there are three friends over here, Ravi, Meenu, and the third one is Mridu. Ravi and Meenu, siblings. So now Mridu has come to Ravi's and Meenu's house to visit them. When Mridu comes at the door, she notices some grey slippers that have been worn very fairly. Next, what happens is that Mridu is dragged by Ravi and Meenu to the backyard where they find a kitten. Now this kitten is lying on a football that has been leveled in a way that it could act like a cushion for the kitten, and she is drinking milk from a coconut shell. Correct. So this is what has happened so far, and Ravi explained how difficult it was for him to hide her from Pati and feed her as well. And the name that they've given to the cat is Mahindra Varma Pallava Punai, MP Punai, or Mahindra they call him. Now it's a fine breed of cat, and its fur looks like a lion's mane to them. Now they're just getting into the science, now they're just getting into the history of it, and they're trying to establish how extravagant and how extraordinary this cat is. So Ravi says that have you ever been to Machlipat, have you ever been to Mahabalipuram? So Ravi says, have you ever been to Mahabalipuram? He had, when he had gone to picnic. So Ravi went to Mahabalipuram with his class on a picnic, where he saw this lion, Mahabalipuram Pallava lion. So these lions are basically were very famous in the Pallava dynasty. Therefore, he says that Pallava dynasties and Pallava dynasty lions are the ancestors to this cat that we found. So he says, he's not a very ordinary cat. You think Mahindra is an ordinary cat? No, Ravi is like, Mahindra is not an ordinary cat. Mahindra is the descendant of this lion of the Pallava dynasty. He says he's like Pallava dynasty lions are tathas in Tamil is grandfather. Correct. So basically he's trying to establish an ancestry between the cat and the lions of the Pallava dynasty. And then he adds on and says that Pallava dynasties used to worship the cat gods of the Egypt. So basically he's not an ordinary cat. He has the blood of the cat god of the Egyptians. So they are actually making a very big deal out of Mahindra and saying how big of a cat he is and how extraordinary of a cat he is. Okay, and just when all of this was happening, there is another of their siblings named Lali. She was having her music classes. That's Lali learning to play violin, grunted Ravi. She'll never learn a thing. The music master just goes on playing like a train, whizzing on and on, while Lali all the time derailing. So it's like how a train always runs on a track. Similarly, when the music teacher was practicing music and making Lali understand how to play violin, teaching Lali how to play violin, he was so splendid while he was doing that. But Lali was equally bad. It was like she was taking this entire train and derailing the entire train. So that's how bad she was. She could never get her tones right. She could never get her notes right. Correct? So what is happening right now? We are having 4 children in this picture. While Lali is not one of the main characters here, our main characters are Ravi, Mridu, and me. These are the main characters we have. Lali is just another sister who is right now having her music classes and she is learning how to play violin. Correct? So see, here the author has carefully placed different elements into places. So there is at one place Lali attending her music classes, then there are these 3 children in the backyard playing with kitten, and then there are some elders doing their own work. So it's a regular day at home. Correct? So that was part 1. In part 1, we've understood what these 3 kids were doing, what Lali is doing, and what other adults in the home might be up to. So now let's begin with the part 2. So in the part 2, these 3 children are shown peeking inside the room where Lali is actually studying, learning how to play music, which has been further explained. The music master's notes seem to float and settle perfectly into the invisible track of melody. See how beautifully they've written it. These are the kind of sentences we need to learn how to write in order to score good marks. So they could have simply written that the music teacher was playing the violin very melodiously, but no, look at the kind of sentences they've put forward here. It seemed as if the music notes were floating. It seemed as if the new music notes were floating and they were perfectly fitting into a melody that the music teacher was trying to create. See the kind of imagination the author is trying to strike in us. It was like the wheels of a train fitting smoothly into rails and whizzing along, as Ravi said. So Ravi said that it felt like there's a train whose wheels completely fit to the track and it's having a beautiful journey. So that's how beautiful the music teacher's music was. Mridu stared at that huge, beringed hand moving effortlessly up the violin stem, making lovely music. Correct? So of course he's a teacher and he's been teaching music for so long now that whenever he plays any instrument, it seems as if it's coming effortlessly out of him. It comes effortlessly. Squawk, there was Lali derailing again. And whenever Lali used to play, it used to feel like she's taken that entire trade, the buggy of trade, and she's derailed it completely. That's how bad Lali was at playing violin. Now, while all of this was happening, the kids' attention was further deviated. Now, see how easily these kids are getting derailed here and there. Initially, they were focused on getting Ridu inside, and then they were focused on the kitten. Then they started focusing on Lali, and now there's another element that has got their attention. Now, what is happening? Now, a beggar has come to their place. Correct. Now Lali is doing her music practices, the kitten is there in the backyard, and now the children are interested in the beggar. Now a beggar has come to their place. Now, when a beggar came, this is a beggar who used to come every now and then to their place. And now there was a point when even the ladies of the house were irritated with this beggar coming again and again. Correct? So now let's see what this beggar wants. Just give me a moment, children. Yes, sorry for the interruption. Okay, so he had spread his upper cloth under the neem tree and was leaning against its trunk, apparently prepared to take a little snooze while he waited for the alms to appear. Alms is जब आप किसी को दक्षिणा या भीख में कुछ देते हो, that is called alms. Correct. So this beggar is so much used to getting alms from here. There was a neem pade, he went there, he's put a cloth down there and he's leaning against the trunk. And he's very happily sitting there and waiting for his alms to come. But instead of alms, today he heard a voice, "Go away," said Ravi sternly. "My Pati says it's time you found another house to beg from." Now, of course, Ravi had not said that. Ravi's Pati had asked Ravi to go and say the beggar, "Ki jao yahan se." Correct? Because the beggar was coming here again and again, to which one day Pati said that, "Ravi, go and tell the beggar not to come anymore. How much are we going to feed him?" So Ravi, of course, didn't want to do that. But after looking at Pati's anger, he went and he said that anyway. I'll go, he said wearily. "Only let me have rest here under this tree. The sun is hot, the tar has melted on the road, my feet are already blistered." He stretched out his feet to show large pink peeling blisters on the soles of his bare feet. Now see, we already know that the children we are dealing with here are extremely innocent and they have a huge heart, which we know why, because they got the kitten inside their home thinking that the kitten would be left alone out there, and a small kitten could not survive on its own. And now they are seeing a human who's completely helpless. This human is so helpless that he doesn't even have footwear. And it was so hot out there, the sun was scorchingly hot, and it was so hot out there that he literally had blisters in his legs. If you see his feet, you'd actually see pink blisters. So clearly this man was troubled and he needed help. So what these kids decided, of course, as they decided to help out the beggar. So they decided to find him a pair of footwear. Now these kids were generous enough to offer their own footwears or their own chappals to the beggar, but the problem was they were too small and the beggar was too big. And therefore they went inside the home looking for the right size. And just outside the door, where Mridu had kept her chappals, right next to the door, remember the chappals that Mridu had noticed when she was coming in? They found those chappals, those grey old dusty chappals. They seemed to be the right size. And these innocent children, they picked up those chappals and they gave it to the beggar. The beggar stared at the slippers, hurriedly flung his towel over his shoulder, pushed his feet into them and left, muttering a blessing to the children. In a minute, they had vanished around the corner of the street. He had vanished around the corner of the street, correct? So what happened, that the moment this beggar received the chappals, he was very happy. He wore the chappals and he went and he gave blessings to the children. Even children were very happy because they felt like they had actually been of some use to someone and they have helped out someone. Something that children are often taught about. But actually, after this entire thing was done, came out the music teacher looking for his own chappal. The grey old chappal that Ravi and Meenu had just given away to the beggar were of the music teachers. Now the music teacher was very angry and he was looking around for his chappals. He also asked the children if they had seen the chappal, and children were quiet. They didn't know what to do. Then he called the elders of the house, and even the elders, including the amma, they were very angry. Where had the chappal gone? And they were very sure that the kids had something to do with it. But the kids were not saying anything as of now. So after which the kids accepted, of course, for how long are they going to dodge the question? So they accepted that they had given these chappals to the beggar. Now the music teacher was very furious, and he said that the chappal were brand new. Of course the chappals were not brand new. We know that the chappals were old, grey and dusty. So the chappals were definitely not brand new. But still the music teacher said that the chappals were brand new, and it could cost the family an entire month's fees that they used to pay for Lali. And he said that he had actually bought it specially from Mount Road. He said कि मैं तो specially Mount Road जा करके चप्पल लेकर आया था, पूरे एक महीने की फीस जितने महंगे चप्पल थे आपके. He was clearly lying about it. So Amma felt very bad that the kids had given away the chappal to the beggar. So what Amma did was, Amma decided that of course they had to compensate for it. So Amma asked Ravi to go and get Gopu Mama's chappal. So what did they do next? So Ravi went inside the house. Brand new chappals that Gopu Mama had were given to the music teacher. Now the music teacher was actually from inside very happy to have received a brand new pair of slippers instead of the old ones that he had lost. But he did not show it. Bahar se to he was showing as if, okay fine, now I'll accept it, what else do? I cannot walk home in the scorching heat anyway. And therefore he accepted the brand new chappals and he went to his way. Now of course the mother was very furious at the children, to which the children said कि आप ही ने हमको सिखाया है, you only told us how Karn had given away his earrings and his armor to someone who was asking for it, to someone who was in need. So we did the same thing. That poor little beggar was in need of chappals, and therefore we took and gave the chappals to him. And here Amma interrupted and said that Karn gave away to the beggar, to the beggar what was his, but you gave away to the beggar what was not yours. And that is the difference between helping somebody with consent or without consent. If you want to help somebody with providing them with something, you need to have the consent of the person from whom you've taken that thing. And that is one lesson that these children had learned that day, that if you want to help anyone, it's important that you help them with everything that belongs to you and not with something that belongs to somebody else. Correct? So this was the entire chapter, children. I'll give you a quick recap of what things we have dealt with in this chapter. There are three kids that we are dealing with: Ravi, Meenu and Mridu. Now Ravi and Meenu had got a kitten to their home whom they called Mahindra, and they are convinced that Mahindra is the descendant of the Pallava lions and the Egyptian cat god themselves. Correct? And they have made a football cushion for the cat, and they had served cat milk in a coconut shell. Correct? In a coconut shell they had fed that cat with some milk. Also, when all of this is happening, there is their cousin Lali, who is learning how to play violin with a music teacher who was marvelous at what he was doing, but Lali equally bad. When the music teacher is done with his music, he comes out and he looks for his chappals, which are gone. Why? Because a beggar had come in just when the class was going on, and he had no slippers and blisters on his feet, and he had to go out in the scorching heat again. And therefore the children had taken the Masterji's chappal and had given it to the beggar. Now the Masterji was very furious because he wanted his chappals back. And therefore then what Amma did was, Amma asked Ravi to get Gopu Mama's chappal and give it to the Masterji. So Gopu Mama's brand new chappal were replaced with the old chappals of the Masterji, and the Masterji left happily from there. And children learnt one lesson, that you should only help people with the things that you have, not with the things that people have. Correct? And also this chapter shows how innocent and how pure-hearted children could be, and how helpful these children were, and how seriously they took the lessons of helping each other when they were taught about it. Okay children, so this is the chapter, A Gift of Chappals. Thank you.